Jazzcast Pros.
What if you could rewrite your story and resolve issues at their root by clearing energetic blocks and create a life that truly lights you up?
You've discovered the podcast to open you up to a whole new world, one that perhaps you never even knew existed.
Welcome to The Spiritual Shortcut, the podcast to help you realize that you are in fact your own healer and that you can learn to release the invisible anchors that might have been holding you back. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Christy.
And we'll be your guides on this journey.
For over 2 decades collectively, and honestly, probably quite a few lifetimes, we've used our deep intuitive connection and shamanic practices to help people just like you.
So today's guest is Owen.
It is Owen.
I'm excited. He's our first fella that we've had on the show.
It was really good to do a healing with a guy for the first time for the podcast because it's just a whole different energy, isn't it?
It really is. It's a different conversation, a different energy that they bring. It was a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah, definitely.
So Owen is an ex-pastor. He's got kids, stepkids. He's got an interesting and very unique story. He's just a really cool guy too.
Yep.
Was an awesome chat.
We did a reparenting, didn't we, of the teen for him and of his inner child.
Yep.
In the context of allowing them to, or giving them the opportunity to learn the appropriate placement of roles.
Yep.
And there was a lot of breaking of generational contracts in there too.
Yeah, lots of stuff in the lineage. Was actually a really super interesting healing to do.
And so interesting, it goes for about an hour, so we're splitting it into 2 parts. You're welcome.
Yeah. And so part 1 coming up.
Enjoy. Welcome to The Spiritual Shortcut. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Christy.
And today we welcome Owen. He's with us, very graciously agreed to have a chat.
My pleasure to be here, ladies. Really is. So glad to be on the show. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Owen.
Oh, dear.
Okay, so Owen, let's start with your intention that you're bringing today. We've already had a little bit of a chat about it and fine-tuned it. So if you could tell the listeners.
Basically, my intention for my will and desire to really align to bring around the desired goals that I've got in the long term.
Yep.
So the will and desire for the immediate stuff to bring out those goals in the long term.
Yeah, that's right. So we're talking about personal habits. You feel that they're somewhat inconsistent. And, when you look forward to the vision of this is the Owen that has created these amazing, incredible goals, he is someone who has done certain things. And so you're able to look back at yourself now and be like, oh, I'm not doing them now. How am I ever going to close the gap between me, who I am now, and the identity of who Owen needs to be to create these incredible goals? Would you say that's right?
That's pretty much the summary of it. That's correct. I've always described myself as a guy that could see on 10 steps, I could see step 9 and 10 where I want to be and what my goal is, and steps 1 and 2. But give me 3 through to 8 and I just cannot see them. So that's a really spot on observation.
Yeah. And that's great. You can lead a fabulous life with just steps 1 and 2 while you're holding the beacon of steps 9 and 10 ahead of you. And they're glowing in the future and you're like, yes, I'm still aligned to that. That is my beautiful goal. That is my beautiful future. And I want it. I feel it in my heart. It is my desire. So, that's okay because 3 to 7 and 8 are often just going to appear as they need to because 3 and 4 become 1 and 2 as you take those first 2 steps anyway. So, yeah, you only need to see 1 and 2 so long as you keep taking them.
No, that's good. I like that.
Why would anyone want to get out of bed if all they're doing every day is fighting their demons?
Yeah, I've been in the depth of that before. It's an exhausting period of time.
It sure is, yeah.
Yeah, there is nothing else that consumes you when the shadow really comes to the surface and you've really got to face it. It is, figuratively, it is going into hell and battling them. So, yeah, I understand that. It is Very draining.
Yeah. So all this talking of boxes and I'm sitting here locked in one.
That's how you're feeling, is it?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
as we've pulled cards and unpacked everything, what the guides are showing me is your inner child, and he is not happy. He is sweating. He is hot. He is exhausted. He is in this tiny little container, to continue the box analogy here. And he has tried every which way to get out. He's kind of dug away at the corners, and he can feel a bit of movement in those corners and edges. But if I step back from it, there's another box around it, another box around it, another box around it. And then when we get to the edge of these boxes, which are showing up as past life energy, I have got so much movement. Like, I'm talking busy, people everywhere, everyone wanting to talk and communicate and all this stuff going on, that it's just like there's no way to connect through those barriers that have been put up. So is there any of that you can kind of resonate with, Owen?
And I definitely can understand with the idea that there is parts of me that's boxed away. And as a kid growing up, the eldest grandchild, working in my parents' business, there were elements in which I certainly, the young kid. It's interesting. We talked a little bit before about the inner teen. So there's kind of like the inner child had all the fun. Things were quite stable, but then the inner teen period was when he was stuck into a box and didn't live a healthy teenage life. And often I do feel like putting that one in the box. How to bring out the inner teen is a very different thing to an inner child. When you've got 4 kids in your house that are all young, the inner child can come out and play on the trampoline. The inner teen's a very different one, because the inner teen, mostly he was drinking and partying. So how does that relate to now? It's not quite where my values lie in the same way. And then that noise that you talk about, it gets busy in my brain.
Yeah, even as you're talking to me, I have got people standing all around me going, talk to me, listen to me, I've got something to tell you, blah, blah, blah. And then as I get right to the root of it, like right to the crux of it, that's not even your little boy in that box. It's actually your teen, and there's been an invert on the energy there. So it's like there's been a swap over, which is really interesting for us because we have not come across that before.
I feel like part of that is that they've been locked in the box by accident along with what you've wanted to lock in the box. And it's like, God, that's got to get in there, crush it down, squish it down, lock it in, get rid of it. We've got to throw that over. It's going on the shelf. It's going in the deep, dark recesses of my dark memory that I never want to open again. Oh, oops, something good went in there too. Oh, well, bad luck. I'm not opening the box for anything.
I'll distract myself and come over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fascinating that you say that. I'm very familiar with how, like, dissociating and memories and storing things away and the impact that can have on the psyche. It is always balanced when you're putting a part of yourself away, taking it out of the light, so to speak. It doesn't go away. There's a whole energy there that you can't pick and choose little bits of it. If you put it away, then the whole lot almost goes with it.
Yeah. And if I go in again deeper, it's like this self-sabotage kind of program running in there, because it's like I'm going to fight to get out, but hang on, I know that once I'm out of here, I can't be contained. So then there's fear there as well. So it's like I may as well just stay here. Oh no, I want to get out. So it's like this round and round kind of thought process.
Oh, no, that's a very good assessment.
Dissociation can easily cause that too, because you have this subconscious feelings, like the guilt or the shame, and you're like, oh, why do I feel bad again? What did I do? Oh, I didn't do anything. Oh, that's okay. Oh, that's right. And the conscious mind kicks in and says, no, it's okay. You chose to do this thing, for example, leaving the church, say, I put this to one side. That's okay. Oh, okay. So I can relax. Oh, no, I can't relax. No, this is scary. And the subconscious kicks in again. No, there's no relaxing. You're bad. You've done this thing. Everybody hates you for it, or someone hates you for it. Maybe no one, but just one person. I don't know. But whatever it is, I'll do it. I'll hate myself for it. So it's that kind of constant fighting, relaxing, fighting, that hypervigilance.
It's my own self and my own thoughts. I don't really have anyone anymore in my life that speaks negativity of me. They're all kind of out now. I'm always open to positive criticism, but if it's not a discussion, it's always just criticism. That's a very different energy to be put to the side. But yeah, the internal thoughts that I can have of like that one day going, okay, tomorrow I will be doing this, this, and this, and be planning that and thinking that. And it's like, oh, tomorrow might be the day that I'll start doing whatever it is, more exercise, more time with the kids, whatever it is. Then at the end of the day, the next day, well, the one that's the guilt and the shame's coming from is me for that. So yeah, certainly the cycle is there. And yeah, tying into dissociation, that's exactly what drives dissociative behaviors.
Plenty of self-judgment going on. Yep.
Yep.
With the BankWest multi-use virtual card, you can set an end date on your card when you go on holiday, which means less time worrying about your card details once your holiday is over, and more time for you things, like online wormholes, ice baths, stocks, addictive phone games, and spring rolls. BankWest. Just enough bank. Eligibility criteria apply. Consider the TMD and PDS or TNCs from BankWest before deciding.
So what I'll get you to do is imagine yourself in a really beautiful place that you love to go, or maybe that you imagine you would love to go, that you feel very, very safe. For me, there's a particular type of beach that I have visited years and years ago where there are these incredibly tangled trees, and I can climb one of them and be completely hidden from anybody walking around in the area. So you might have something completely different, but it's anything that springs to mind. And what I invite you to do is to really feel yourself in this space. So have a look around. Imagine the sounds that you hear. There might be some certain smells of plants or trees, or maybe if you're at the ocean, you can smell the seawater. And how are you feeling? What's the temperature of the air? What are you sitting on? Are you comfortable, or are you like me, up a tree? Notice colours, how bright they are. Notice movement of the area around you. And when you're feeling really solidly present in that space, I invite you to extend an invitation to your inner child to join you there. You know the space, so you can assure him that this is a safe space for both of you. Is he there with you now? Okay, great. So start by having a little bit of a conversation with him. Ask him how he's feeling, what he's thinking, what he thinks of your cool space, whether he might need something different in the space. Does he want anything? Does he want to make any changes?
No, he's pretty comfortable there.
Awesome. Okay, that's good.
Oh, and is there anyone else around?
I'm
In
in the
that
house and there are people.
Just check in, because when I feel into him, he can see stuff behind you, and I get the sense that he's freaking out a little bit. So maybe just check in with him and I'm not sure where you are at the moment, but is there any way you can kind of sit in front of him or maneuver yourself around to give you guys a bit more privacy where you are?
Yeah.
Awesome. That feels heaps better.
Okay, great. Thanks. So what is there that he wants to speak to you about?
I think that there's the element in which he hasn't felt comfortable just to come and talk and have needs addressed. Like it's just kind of like I feel like an absent dad with a son that I haven't spoken to in a while.
Yeah, it's that being seen and being heard's coming through really strongly. from what I can see, he's incredibly intuitive and he's very open visually. And he's like, I've been trying to talk to you and tell you about all this stuff that I can see going on. And he's like, you're not listening. You're not listening. I can kind of feel him getting a little bit frustrated and annoyed.
It's definitely how I felt as a child in various ways.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So what we want to start doing here is giving him that space and assuring him that that's changed now and that he has got a listening, willing ear for what he wants to talk to you about. So he may not necessarily want to completely spill the beans today, because part of it is that, you know, he needs to be sure that this is okay. You're telling me you're going to do this differently. How do I know that's actually going to be the case? So, you know, part of your integration after today may well be to sit with him. So, you know, it's a great form of meditation actually to speak with your inner child and sit and listen and just, you know, you're really listening to your inner secrets and your inner truth. So it can be a beautiful process for you to go through on a daily basis.
This is also really embedded in the lineage. I'm getting very strongly that it's come straight down that masculine side. And like when it's hit you like a ton of bricks, because they're like, oh, well, you can do it now. And we're seeing a lot of this in people that are sitting in the client seat, because whether people know it or not, they're coming in as the light bearers for this whole host of volunteers that, you know, we've all come in and offered up our services, which is awesome. But unfortunately, we don't all have the toolkit to hear it, to see it, to know it, to recognize it. So, yeah, it's like, again, come down, smack on you. So it's just like the guides are like, this is the truck, you know, it's the feather or the truck. We tried the feather, we tried the feather, we tried the feather, here's the truck. So just feeling into that, and in the context of you and your little boy sitting there, it feels like there's some real hesitation, not necessarily in him, but in the environment around you both.
Yeah, I might. So what I did was I went back to a place. So my grandparents have a property up near Childers that's on
Yep.
the Isis River. And as a kid growing up, I spent a lot of time at the grandparents' place and going down to that creek. So I tried to pick a place that would feel comfortable, that I could imagine for my own child. All the other places that I initially picked was like the creek that's near where I am, where you go fossicking, and we're going down there all the time, but that's more me, not my inner child's been there. So I was trying to pick a place. But in other ways, that creek down there, there's not that anything bad ever happened down there, but it's associated with family.
Yeah, big grandfather energy coming through now.
Yeah, exactly. And that grandfather energy went into my dad. Not that there was anything negative with my grandfather, but it's generational from that period of time. Then that came down onto me, which I feel like I've made some deliberate steps to change.
Yeah,
But,
that's right.
Yeah, so that is an interesting, with the dynamics that you've mentioned, yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's that this isn't what we do. We're men, you know, and that's everywhere. That's, you know, when we look back at our past history, men were men. It wasn't, you know, they weren't seen as even emotional creatures that spoke up. So, you know, it's that we're going to make a change. And then obviously the subconscious brain goes, no, you know, this is not safe. This is not familiar kind of thing. So that resistance, so let's just tune into that resistance, Amanda, and just see. It's just discomfort of the new. So I think it would be really helpful, Owen, if we put some statements out verbally for that little boy about how it's safe now, how I'm here, how I'm the adult, you know, maybe go down that path, Amanda, and we'll just see what comes up.
Yeah, so what you're doing is you're speaking to him and explaining the situation to him. So it's a version of reparenting where you're stepping in as the adult and explaining to him that, you know, I am here now. I am the adult. I can start to say it and you can just repeat after me. So you can say, I am here now.
You know?
and I will help make you feel safe.
I'll help make you feel safe.
I'm the adult.
I'm the adult.
It's 2025. And
It's
I have grown up.
2025.
And I have grown up.
And I have grown up.
So you can stay and play and be a child.
You can stay and play and be a child.
Because I'm going to do all the grown-up things.
So I'm going to do all the grown-up things.
You don't need to worry about any of that stuff.
You don't need to worry about any of that stuff.
Just hang out by the creek and have a good time.
Just hang out by the creek and have a good time.
So there's this confusion energy there too. And I can see him looking at that inner teen and what he's doing that's considered fun and being a little bit confused about what his role is here. So I'm just going to have a feel into that, because it's like he can see that inner teen behaving in a certain way in one area of life, but then it's like there's extra responsibilities on that teenager's back. Can you connect into that?
Oh, that's absolutely. Do I resonate with that? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So
All
my
right,
parents
so
had a business, so I used to work a lot in their business, and I can relate to that.
Okay, great. So that's on the right trajectory here. So it's like this confusion of the adult doing adult things, the teenager doing appropriate teenage things in a safe and appropriate way, and then the little boy just being carefree and being a child. And it's like there's been a switcheroo, right? So we need to get to the bottom of that. So it's like identification of the appropriate role. The guides are saying, Amanda, all I can hear them saying is call on the light, call on the light. And if I tune back into that little boy, there's still all these people that he's terrified of behind him. It's like he was clearing subconsciously, right? Because he didn't really know what to do. It was like opening gateways for things coming in. That's what it feels like. So there's like all these extra people being really busy all around him. It's like extra attachments, Amanda.
Yeah, right.
We need to do statements around, it's safe to let go. It's safe to surrender to just being a child, with the knowing that all of these extra responsibilities that he's opened himself up for are not actually his, that someone else can take care of it. That's the adult job. And totally down that masculine line. And what I want to say is that it's almost like a clearing gift, a gift for sending people off into the light that has been not identified, has been misconstrued, inverted. That's been inverted.
Yep.
That's what this is. So it's the inverted gift. So where does that leaves with the adult? Yeah, so it's like the whole environment has been turned upside down. Yeah, and that feminine side, it's just that waiting energy, waiting for things to go to plan kind of thing. You're nodding your head. Do you want to put some words around that?
So, parents' business that I mentioned, extremely busy with that and with other things. Very absent father, especially. Though I was around him at times, it was always a work environment. Yeah, it was not. At a young age, I was working in the store, and almost if we say even in early preteens, none of that was necessarily a bad thing in participating and doing things and learning how to work and all of that. But it was the context emotionally, that absentness. Then the teenager kicked in, and by the time I was a teenager, because I'd been there so long, I was a senior on the shifts kind of thing. Right, and but just not wanting to be there, hated it. That stage, last thing you want to be doing is working for your parents, going home when you're a teenager.
Yeah. How good was that?
It was half as good as it could have been.
So how can we make it fully good? Fully good in a fortnight, yeah?
Fully good in a fortnight when you get the other half.
The other half
And
then we can do a full reflection outro on it.
we can. And in the meantime, listeners what should they do, Christy?
They should come work with us
Yes, that would be cool. How do they do that?
via the website.
Which is www.magicmudcacao.com.
Excellent.
And there is a work with us tab and some options, and you can buy some cacao, and it's a lovely little journey and story over on our website.
And it will be fully good, won't it?
There's no halves there.
See you in a fortnight.
You've done the work to survive. Now it's time to heal and lead. Healing Her Within is your space to break cycles, reclaim your voice, and rise in your power. Through tools like breathwork, inner child healing, energy work, and mindset shifts, we help you unlock the woman you were always meant to be. Listen and subscribe on the Jazzcast Pros Network right here on the platform that you're listening to, because your healing isn't optional. It's your next level.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the latest episode of The Spiritual Shortcut.
We'll be back on the first and third Sunday of each month to unpack, demystify, and occasionally make fun of all things spiritual.
Starting with ourselves.
Of course.
Don't forget, those life blocks you've been tripping over are just poorly disguised stepping stones.
We'll support you to laugh, leap, and maybe even do a little victory dance over them. See you soon.